Hello, this is Sai Ritik. I'm going to speak on Playfair cipher. The Playfair cipher was the first practical digraph substitution cipher. It's a cipher encryption algorithm. Generally, the scheme was invented in 1854 by Charles Wheelstone. But it was used for tactical purposes by British forces. This was invented because Playfair is reasonably fast to use and requires no special equipment. Generally, it consists of two steps. The algorithm consists of two steps. First step is to generate the key square, and second step is to encrypt the plain text. The first step is generating the key square. Key square is a 5 cross 5 matrix which consists of full of alphabets that act as the key for encrypting the plain text. Each 5 cross 5 matrix has 25 alphabets. Each alphabet will be unique, and usually the alphabet J will be omitted from the table, matrix table. If the plain text contains J now, then it is replaced by I. The initial alphabets in this key square are unique alphabets of the key, in which they appear followed by the remaining letters of the alphabet in order. Second step is to encrypt the plain text. The plain text will be first split into pairs. That's why it's known as digraphs. If there is an odd number of letters, then Z will be added to the last letter. For example, if you take a plain text instruments, after splitting it will be INSTRUMENT. S will be alone, so Z will be adding to the letter S, so it will become SZ like that. Then there are some rules for encryption. If both letters are in the same column in the table matrix, then we need to pick up the letter below it. If both letters are in the same row, then we need to take the right letter each one. And if neither of the rules is above is true, then we need to form a rectangle with those two letters and take the letters on the horizontal opposite corner of the rectangle. Example is the key here is monarchy, thus the initial entries in the 5 cross 5 matrix will be MONARCHY, followed by remaining characters will be letters A to Z except Z, except J and J. Then we need to encrypt the plain text. Uh, the plain text is instruments. So if both letters are in the same column, take the letter each one. For example, here the digraph is ME. After splitting instruments, there is one pair which is ME. So M, E are in the same column. So we need to take the position below to M and below to E, which is C and L. If they are in same row, suppose that we take ST digraph, then the right letter of S will be T and the right letter of T will be L. That will be the out of test T, which is TL. If the plain text consists of neither of the rules is not true, then the digraph NT instruments NT will be taken as the horizontal opposite corner of the rectangle, such as NT will be framed as RQ. So the final encrypted text will be GAT LMZ LRQTX for the following example. That's about Playfair cipher. Then we talk about, I'm going to speak about Wigner cipher. Wigner cipher, it's all about 26 rows and 26 columns. We need to fill it with that A to Z alphabets. Then 26 alphabets. The plain text, for example, let me take a plain text, geeks for geeks, then keyword will be AUYSH, AYUSH, then the ciphertext will be uh, determined by us. Like comments will be forming a table of 26 rows and 26 columns, each filled with by letters A to Z. Then first letter of plain text G and the second letter of keyword, first letter of keyword A, G will be mapped against A, such that we need to check the table. Whichever letter appears in the table, that will be the answer. G, for the G against A, it will be the letter G. So next for E against Y, the answer will be C. Then E against U, it will be Y. Then K against S, it will be C. S against H, it will be mapped as Z, and it will be rotated cyclomatically. In the cyclomatically means cyclic, in the left cyclic rotation it will be. Then F against A, it will be Z. O against Y, it will be F. R against U, it will be M. G against A, it will be L. Such so on until S against H, it will be M. We can determine it mathematically also by using the encryption formula. E is equal to Pi plus K mod 26 mod 26 for the encryption. Then for decryption, T is equal to EI minus KI plus 26 mod 26. Decryption is performed by going to the row in the table corresponding to the key. For example, in row A, from I use the ciphertext G appears in column G, which is the first plain text letter. Then we go to row Y, which is second letter from the keyword. Now we need to locate the ciphertext C, which is found in column E. Thus, E is the second plain text letter. The decryption formula will be EI minus KA plus 26 mod 26. That's about Wigner cipher. Then I'm going to explain about Hill cipher. It's a polygraphic substitution cipher based on linear algebra. Each letter is represented by a number modulo 26. Often the alphabets A to Z are appended with values 0 to 25, such that A equal to 0, B equal to 1, so on until Z equal to 25. To encrypt a message, each block of n letters is multiplied to n cross n matrix against modulus 26. The matrix used for encryption is a cipher key and should be chosen randomly from the set of n cross n matrix against modulus 26. That's about Hill cipher. Then I'm going to speak on Diffie-Hellman key exchange. Its main aim of the algorithm is for establishing a shared secret key that can be used for secret communication. It can be used for secret communication while exchanging the data between the two users. So first we need to take A as a primitive root. Diffie-Hellman is used to secure a variety of internet resources. However, a research published in October suggests that parameters in use for many Diffie-Hellman internet applications at that time were not strong enough to prevent compromise by very well funded attackers, such as the security of some countries. The method was followed shortly afterwards by RSA and implementation of public key cryptography using asymmetric algorithms. This algorithm is named after scientist Whitefield Diffie and Martin Hellman, one of the earliest practical examples of public key exchange in the field of cryptography. The Diffie-Hellman key exchange method allows two parties that have no prior knowledge of each other for them to jointly establish a shared secret key for a secure channel. The key can be used to encrypt subsequent communications using a symmetric key cipher. The implementation of this key exchange is, suppose there are two users A and B, and then the public key for them will be P, suppose public key for them is P, G. Private key of user A is small a, private key of user B is small b. A is a primitive root. So now key generated by the user A is determined by x equal to capital G power A mod P, and the private key generation by user B is determined by y is equal to P power P mod P. This is for sender side. During the receiver side, the generated secret key will be KA is equal to Y. Y means it's the key generated by user B in the center side, power A is a primitive root, mod P, where P is a prime. Generated secret key for KB is x power B mod P. So if we choose for implementation, if we take an example of small a equal to 4, P equal to 23, this P is a prime, and capital is equal to, for capital A, x is equal to 5 power 4 mod 23, which is 4. Then key generation for B, user B, y is equal to 5 power 3 mod 23, which is 10. Then in the receiver side, 10 power 4 mod 23. Here P is a prime, should be a prime number, 23. 10 power 4 mod 23, it will be the value of 18. The secret key for user B in the receiver side, the KB value will be 4 power 3 mod 23, which is also 18. Algebraically, it will be proved that Ka is equal to Kb. That means both the user A and user B now share a secret key of the same number. Their strength comes from the fact that take extremely long time to compute just from the knowledge of prime number P, G, A. Once A and B compute the shared secret key, they can use it as an encryption key known only to them for sending messages across the communication channel. Of course, if you have much larger values of small a, b, capital P, it would be difficult for us to find the output of those values. Then even the fastest modern computers cannot compute the bigger values of A, B and capital P. Such a problem is called discrete logarithm problem. That's about discrete logarithm problem. Thank you.